Hello and welcome back for IntelliCAD training provided by CAD Manufacturing Solutions. I'm Tracy and we're continuing with modifying commands and learning object snaps. We'll start by drawing a simple line starting at 1, 2 and ending at 3, 2. We'll continue drawing that shape with another endpoint at 3, 4, then 2 more endpoints at 1, 4, and then 1, 2, which closes our shape. Next up, we're going to try a new shape command using rectangle at the command line. You'll notice the command prompts are going to be a little bit different with drawing a rectangle than with the simple line command. We're going to want to put the coordinate in for the first corner of our rectangle, which is 4.5, 2. I want you to notice here that we can specify the other corner of our rectangle by referencing the first corner of our rectangle and going 2 units in the X direction and 2 units in the Y direction. Now, if we select all of these line segments, it opens the Properties window. By selecting just one segment, you'll see that we have properties for just a line as opposed to a polyline. Selecting all segments of our first shape shows that these are all just individual lines as opposed to our second shape is a polyline. Let's start with the new command called mline. This command gives us the option to either start drawing our line or we can apply some settings up front. By typing S and then enter, we can change our mline scale. Once we add our start point of 8, 2, we notice that the mline function actually starts to draw 2 parallel lines. After entering our next endpoint, 1.5 units to the right, you start to see how this offset is working. Now we go 1.5 units up along the y-axis, then 1.5 units left along the x-axis, and Command C will close our shape. We're left with one perfect square inside of the other because we were drawing parallel lines simultaneously. By selecting our shape, we can see in the Properties window that this is an M-line. Let's shift gears and show you what you would do using the trim command if you had a line that was too long. Let's draw a line starting at 2, 5 with an end point at 2, 6.5. Then we'll draw another line crossing that one from 1, 6 to 3, 6. Now, let's say this horizontal line was not your intended result. We'll type in our trim command and then select that horizontal line and press enter. At this point, you have the option to either trim or extend a line, and you can select which of these lines you want to perform that action on. I'll go ahead and select the top segment of the 4, and you'll notice that it trims it right to the intersection. Now let's try something similar. We'll draw a line starting at 4, 6.5 and ending at 6, 6.5. Let's start another line segment at 5, 5 and end that at 5, 6. Again, let's say this was not our intended result. We want to extend a line, so we're going to enter our extend function. Once this is active, you're going to select the segment that you want to extend to, and then select the segment that you're going to extend. Notice it shows this dashed line, which is the suggested extension you're looking at. By selecting that, you extend that line to the uppermost line we have drawn. Now let's practice this concept using a circle. The center of our circle will be placed at 7.5, 5.5. Here we're going to make this a smaller circle and enter a radius of 0.5 units and enter. Now once we finish drawing our circle, we're going to practice the concept of using the offset lines again, but in a new way. We'll enter offset at our command line. It's going to prompt us for that offset distance, so we'll enter 0.125 units. And once we select our circle, it shows that dashed line again with the proposed offset of our circle. Go ahead and click to accept. Before we wrap up today, I do want to look at object snapping, as this will be very handy. I enjoy this part. Enter O snap at the command line to get the snap settings. Here we'll turn on center and midpoint snapping modes and then click OK. Now if we wanted to draw a line from the center of this circle, we can do that because it'll snap to that center point. Then we can snap to any surrounding midpoint as well. I want to thank you so much for learning with us. We'd like to remind you to stay up to date about our software news at intellicadms.com. See you at our next training session.